Okay, this video we are going to talk about the syllabus, and the number one thing is I'm going to show you where you can find the syllabus. Well, if you know the Canvas system, you have to log into this Canvas system. And by the way, the address of the Canvas system is uncw.instructure.com. And after you go to that website, you have to log in using your own campus ID and password. And after that, you will see the dashboard. And on the dashboard, you will see a couple of the courses. I have plenty, but you probably only have like half dozen to 1 dozen. Okay, well, you want to find this one. And then, well, you will see the only one module for now is the big one, welcome. And in this module, you will have the syllabus. So syllabus.pdf, here it is. So we click on that, and then we want to maximize this window, and this is our syllabus for this semester. Well, and some of the information I have already talked about, like my name, my office, and my office hour. Okay, so here is a hyperlink, and if you click on this hyperlink, and it should open a Zoom window for you. And then, well, during my office hours on Mondays and Thursdays, 1 to 2 p.m., I promise you I will be there. Okay, well, and when you come to my online office hours, you don't really have to turn on your web camera. However, I do require you to have a functional microphone, so that we can talk. And another thing is, if you come to my office in person, and you knock and make sure that you have a mask, and before you come in, and you see I also have my face mask on. Okay, well, the next part, the class location and the timeline, the time. There's no physical location for this class. Well, and for the class meeting time, since this is an asynchronous course, there's really no class meeting time that we sit together face to face. However, well, I decided that I want to post my lecture videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, and my decision is, well, by Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m., well, I guarantee I will have today's lecture posted. Okay, so, and then I also encourage you guys to mark or block a time on your calendar to make sure that you have the time to watch the lecture videos and then do the homework for this class. Well, and of course, if you go to your CNET and you want to see your class schedule, you won't be able to see this course because this course is asynchronous. However, you have to mark or block a certain time every week for yourself to make sure that you spend enough time on this course. Okay, and this is our textbook. We talk about that. And plus, well, here there are 2 additional reference books. And the number one is this one. Well, I do have this in my office. This is one of my favorite beginner book for Python. Well, and why? Because let me see. Okay, you see, this is a really colorful book. If you are a visual person, you enjoy reading the really visually pleasant book, this is definitely one of them. And I only recommend this book if you haven't done a lot of Python. Okay, so the second one, and some of you may know this book because in UNCW we use that for computer science 2, which is 231. Okay, this book. And for this book, it covers the basic data structures. Okay, so for this book, I require you guys to have understanding of the basic data structures. For example, linked list. Well, in this course, we won't spend a lot of time talking about the linked list, and for some algorithms, we will bring in some of the chain data structures, for example, like the regular list versus the linked list, and I'm going to assume that you know both of them. So if you're a little bit rusty on the basic data structures, and you may want to take a look at this book. And plus, this book also talks about the basic algorithm analysis. Okay? So for the develop environment, and then we are using the Python and PyCharm. Okay, well, make sure you download Python 3, now Python 2, and then for the PyCharm, there is a free community edition, so you want to use that one. Okay, and then here are some of the student learning outcomes, and I'm not going to read through that. And for the grading, well, remember this is a graduate level course, so you got A, B, C, or F. Okay, well, there's no A plus, but we do have the A minus, B plus, B minus, and C plus. But if you get anything below C, you're gonna have an F. Okay, and then we have the homework, we have 2 midterms, and we have 1 final exam. Okay, and well, let's talk about the exam first. So for those exams, for the midterm 1 and midterm 2, and you will see that they're available for a total of 6 hours. Well, does that mean? Well, this is a huge exam. You have to spend a total of 6 hours. The answer is no. Well, the length of those midterms will be kind of similar to a in-class exam. Okay, well, in-class exam for 75 minutes. So theoretically, well, if you have a reasonable understanding about the content, and then you should be able to do the midterms in 75 minutes. However, I understand you guys have different things going on, and you may have interns, you have other projects, other courses. So, well, so that's the reason that I put a 6-hour block for the midterms. Well, the midterm will open at 3 p.m. and it will close at 9 p.m. In this time block, make sure that you can spend at least 75 minutes on the midterm. Okay, so again, I highly recommend you to just mark those exam times on your calendar so you won't miss it. And for the final, well, the final will be again a take-home one, and it is from the noon to 11:59 p.m. So a even longer block in case you have 2 exams on the same day. Okay, so well, for the homework, we have talked about that, and you can decide if you want to work by yourself or if you want to work with a partner. And if you have a partner, and then only one of you guys need to make the submission, and all the files will go to Canvas. And remember, there are 2 types of the assignment. And number 1, if it is a programming assignment, and then you submit the .py file or .py files. And if it is a problem set, and then you want to submit the PDF files. And if it is a problem set, and make sure that you type your solution. Okay, so well, if this problem requires you to do some visual illustration, you have to figure out how to do the visual illustration with a certain tool. There are many tools you can use, and you can use a drawing board in Windows, or you can use on the Google Doc, and there's such a tool. Or if you want to use the PowerPoint, that's okay too. But for those visual for those questions require the visual illustration, you also have to do that with a tool. You can't just hand draw something and then take a photo with your cell phone. And this kind of submissions won't be graded. And I want to make it clear. Okay? Well, in January, there's no makeup test will be given. And if you do have some reason that you miss a midterm, and then let me know, and then your final exam grade will be the substitute. So, well, theoretically, you can miss midterm 1, midterm 2. And then if you do a super good job in the final exam, and you can still have a good course grade. Okay, theoretically, it's doable, but I highly not recommend you to do that, because you are putting a lot of weight into the final exam, and it is really too risky. Okay, and if you are passing this course, and if you're passing this course, however, if you're not able to take this final exam, you have to talk to me before the final exam day. Well, and if I decide that, okay, well, this is doable, and then I will be able to work with you and see if I can give you a I for incomplete, but this is not promised. Okay, well, the next part, for the on-campus lab, well, Condon Hall 2004, that is computer lab. And if you are a student in computer science department, I believe all of you do, and then you should be able to open that lab using your one card. So that's a campus card. And if you want to do some coding on campus, that's a place to go. Okay. Well, next thing, a few course policies. For the course delivery mode, that is online asynchronous. Well, since you're watching this video and probably you understand how does the online asynchronous course work, right? And for the attendance, there's really no way for me to record the attendance. Well, of course, YouTube will tell me how many views do I have, and if I post a video and after 1 week there are only 2 views, and I will know something's going wrong. Okay, well, and if you miss a course lecture video, and then sometimes you will have big trouble doing the homework. So, well, it's your own responsibility to catch up, and if you have any questions, come to my office hours. Okay, and for the late submission, well, everyone will receive 1 late submission allowance. Okay, and you can use that late submission allowance to go to Canvas and then submit 1 homework late to a submission locker. Well, but this doesn't mean you can submit 1 homework at the end of the semester. The rule is, well, if you're submitting late, you have to submit no late than 1 week to make it graded. Okay? And for the makeup test or exam, and usually I'm not offering the makeup test or exam. And if you miss 1 midterm, and then they'll simply come to the final exam, and your final exam grade will be a substitute. And if you miss a final exam, well, you have to tell me early. If you didn't show up in the final and you didn't do anything, and after the submission locker is closed, and then you come to me, and I will say, I'm sorry, I can't do anything to help you, and you got a 0 in the final. That's not good. Okay, well, the next part, academic integrity. Oh, that is super, super important. Well, if you have a partner, you can work together, you can share any ideas, and you can write code on the same computer. That's all fine. However, well, that's it only for the homework, and only if you have a partner. For the midterms, for the finals, they are all individual work. If you share your work with other people and then we are gonna have a serious talk, you don't want that. Well, this can go really bad, really painful, really ugly. Well, I have students saying really bad things to me, and I also have students crying in my office. Did I have fun? No, not at all. Okay, so well, let's make sure we don't have this kind of hard time. Okay, well, and for the homework, if you choose to work by yourself, and then all the homework will be individual, or if you want to work with a partner, and then you guys, only 2 of you can share everything, but you cannot share your work with another team. Okay, well, and if I see some of the really interesting or really different solution, and then I may ask you to explain your code as part of the assignment. Well, if you give me some code really fancy, really smart, and when I ask you to explain, it turns out that you cannot explain that, and then I will suspect you grab that from somewhere else. You grab somewhere else work and you claim it is yours, and we will have the serious talk again. Well, the university rule is, if I, as an instructor, I suspect this is a plagiarism, or it is a violation of the honor code, I don't have to be a detective. I don't have to be a judge. I simply need to report that. And then there will be a council doing all of this work. And trust me, this is ugly. You don't want to have that. Okay, well, and sometimes about the regrading. If you're not happy with the grade, and then you can request a regrade within 1 week after the grade is posted. Okay, well, and in the really challenging or cases like we have to do another lockdown, and if you have to the university tell me this course has to be done differently, and then I may have to change the syllabus, and let's hope this is not going to happen. Okay, well, a little bit more about the academic integrity. Well, those are some of the appropriate collaboration. And for example, if you have your note you want to share with your classmate, that's okay. If you want to discuss what is covered in class with another classmate, that's okay. Or if you have another student with debugging, that's also okay. However, for the debugging part, you can help another student to locate a bug, but you cannot read your coding solution line by line or to word to another student. Okay, that's also cheating. And for the inappropriate collaborations, and if you show another student your solution, or if you copy and paste something from other person to your own solution, and that's not okay. And if you just read your code line by line to another student, no, that's also cheating. And then if you want to help another student during an exam, no, that's not cool. And if you do another student homework, and then no, that's also plagiarism. Okay, so well, take a look on the honor code. Well, and another thing I want to remind you is for all the course material, for the exam, and for the homework questions, and well, they are considered to be the copyright owned by UNCW. This means, say, if you grab your the final exam questions and then you sell it, or if you put it to a public available place, and then you are violating the copyright rules of UNCW. So you can't do that. Okay, well, and for special accommodation, and if you need some special accommodation, and probably you should have a piece of a letter of the special accommodation, and then try to bring it to my office, or send a photocopy online to my email, so well, we can figure out how we can provide this special accommodation. Okay, so that's it for the syllabus, and then let's move on to the next part.